Hey guys, welcome to Outspoken. I'm Josh.
I'm Jeb.
I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Brian.
Thanks for checking us out today.
We've all struggled with the whole coming out story. It's different when religion is involved. Obviously, some churches condemn gays, period. But there's actually some churches that openly accept gays. I feel like you said there's like how many?
I was looking online. There is 5,000 plus churches today that they accept the LGBT community, same-sex marriage, and like we're completely equal in their religion. Like it's
which is nice in the way I feel like it should be, especially if you're preaching Christianity. You know what I mean? Not that will judge others, but
well, first of all, as a person who grew up in the church all his life, who comes from a very religious family, my grandmother is an evangelist. My great grandfather was a pastor in the church. So I grew up in and out the church, all that stuff.
you're probably related to baby Jesus.
Yeah, to be honest, we all are his children. And the whole gay and religious thing is something that I have been studying all my life.
Right.
Being that coming out for me is very difficult because of that. I used to pray to God every single day. I still do. And if there's one thing I've really studied in the Bible is gays and the relations of Christ. There's one scripture that really that kind of helped me throughout the whole thing because it was a little love triangle sort of thing between three men. It's a story of Jonathan and Saul when he says, "I'm distressed for my brother Jonathan. Greatly beloved were you to me. Your love to me was wonderful, passing the love of a woman." So
that sounds pretty homo.
That sounds pretty gay to me. So when I was a kid, hearing a straight man, supposedly straight man, saying his love for his friend was way more than he can love any woman. For me, it meant a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you guys feel about religion in the gay community at all?
I mean, that scripture just sounded like he was DL. It's like when I'm in a small town, I did go to church. We weren't religious, but I definitely went to catechism, growing up Catholic. I didn't really hear too much about condemning gays until I was in my first relationship and I moved to Alabama. And he was going to church 4 times a week. One day I was in church and the preacher was going in on about gays. My boyfriend at the time and his roommate, which was gay as fuck, both of them gay, they had yarn dreads all the way to their ass.
Oh,
yeah.
So I'm just but once he started talking about gays, they were still clapping and participating in it. And so I just was sitting in the back, very uncomfortable. I was like, yeah, I'm never coming back. And actually felt like that was a straw in my relationship where I was like, I can't be with someone who is in that light or feels that way. They hate themselves in the moment.
Defending them, I don't think I wasn't there, of course, but because I've heard that rhetoric all the time.
I mean, I get it. It's tough. There's so many gays, especially in the South.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That are in the they'll be the choir leader.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that they're gay. You know what I mean? You can tell, but it's still
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, is this subject coming up? Y'all better be with this too.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not that, Jeff. It's not you be with it too. I guarantee you it's not. I'll say for other gay Christians, it's just you love Jesus. I love Jesus. And I know that my other
So when that sermon
Christians,
comes up, that particular sermon,
you
go along with it as well?
No, it's just numb. It doesn't hurt anymore.
Oh, you put earphones in.
No, it's the Bible. It is written. It's there. That is their interpretation.
Right.
It's not that I'm trying to ignore it. It's that I don't believe that because that's not the way I'm living my life.
This is what I want to say about that, and this is not. It's not shade towards anybody who is a part of any religion whatsoever. I just have a problem with people who include themselves in a certain belief system, but then pick and choose what it is that they want to abide by.
I agree.
This is what I always tell people. I do believe in God. I believe there is a higher power. I believe in all that. I don't like tying myself to any religion. I don't like that. To me, it's the concept of religion itself that I just feel has separated people. One thing that we do have to understand is, you made a good point, is that when somebody reads the Bible or reads a verse or chapter, whatever, people interpret those stories differently. And like you, Jeb, I was raised Catholic. My grandmother's, I wouldn't say she's a devout Catholic, but her aunts were all raised in a convent in the Philippines. And so it's pretty Catholic. Yeah, they were raised by nuns. In my family, homosexuality is pretty much embraced. Like, we've never really had an issue with it, you know. But as I started, you know, coming into my own and learning who I was and, you know, realizing that I'm gay, and when I came out, I had a lot of questions that I was asking my family as far as like, well, how can you be a part of this religion, but it's claiming that I'm an abomination, you know?
Well,
Because that's what it
the
says.
words of abomination in those terms were also only said in the Old Testament mainly.
Mhm.
There was only one story in the New Testament. The Sodom and Gomorrah story was mostly about
Rape. Yeah. It was about, no, it
Rape.
was. They were being
And-
punished because of that, not because of
Just-
just laying with the man.
Right.
They were raping
people.
and- yeah, exactly.
The whole city was ungodly and unruly.
In
and that's
many
why it was
ways, that just happened
so
to
it was
happen.
in LA?
No, it was WeHo, bro. Get it right.
So that is the main reason why. That's why I got from that story. Even as a kid, I was like, well, they didn't
They're
believe in
bad
God.
people.
Yeah.
They were-
Kind of crazy because that book causes so much turmoil against our community because of what it says, and it's not fair. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I grew up
Do you know
like I
why?
grew up hating myself because of it, because of a simple book saying it's not right, and over something I couldn't change. I prayed every day for years because I didn't like myself. I knew like the people around me weren't gonna like it. I knew the kind of stigma and what people in my hometown thought of people like that. Those words put me through so much, and it might have been a
It's the
misunderstanding.
words.
It might
It's
have been
the
a
words.
misunderstanding or how people took it. And I prayed every day, and the fact that I didn't change, I couldn't change. There's no way anybody's gonna change. It does get better. I have to say that because I was in a position where I was, like I said, I was hating myself. I didn't know if I should be on this earth anymore because of a simple fact that I was gay, which it shouldn't ever be a problem with anybody.
For anybody, yeah.
No, that isn't the will of God. God is about love. Usually the people who spit out that rhetoric aren't really Christians. They're just people who are so hurt and so sad about their own lives that they want to hurt you. Because most Christians don't focus on that. They focus on the love. They'll say, we love you anyway.
A real Christian.
A real Christian. You know what I mean?
I do believe in God. I do believe in God. I just don't believe everything that's in that book because I'm.
Well, the
you
book
know,
is written by man
Yeah.
through many different languages, many
The thing
different
is,
interpretations.
You cannot tell these intensely religious people those things because this is where it comes down to picking and choosing. I don't want to be a part of something where it's like, okay, I'm going to be a part of this, but because of this part of it I don't like, I'm not going to embrace that part. I just would rather not be a part of it, period. I have my own faith with God. You know, I have my own relationship with Him. I know that I'm a good person. And I have
How can you have a relationship with God if you don't read what He said?
How do we know that He said that?
Everything that's in the Bible is something that is interpreted.
Me being raised Catholic, you know, you hear obviously Catholics, we also worship, you know, different saints. You have Saint, you know, Teresa and all these other, you know, people, Saint Patrick, whatever. All of these people who are saints, quote unquote, had like some kind of like spiritual experience, like a miraculous experience with God. But if somebody came forward today
and said that.
like if Donald Trump came right now and got on national television and told everybody, I am this, I'm a messenger from God, this is what he told me to tell all of you, we would think he's crazy.
Actually, it would probably make his ratings go up.
At this point, it would. But I'm just using this as an example.
yeah.
The thing is I feel like people have used religion to kind of mind control people. I remember all the time with my family members or even my catechism teachers when I was like, but that doesn't make any sense. Why would it be that way? Why do you have to believe that? Why is that wrong?
And then when you answer a question,
No,
right?
you know what always comes with?
They
You
hated
just
me.
have to have faith.
Right. She was wrong for telling you that. That isn't, no teacher should ever tell a student who wants to learn more about God or to understand things that to not worry about it or you should have more faith. That isn't an answer. She's wrong for telling you that.
Yeah.
But that's also a person who doesn't have faith themselves. If I have a question, it's in the Bible. Anything I want to know about life, it's in there. And if I study it and if I really look into it, I can find the answer. And a lot of people, they get so hung up on what other people are telling them about this religion or telling them about the Bible. And that's your guys', or not your guys' in particular, that's their issue. Never look to a person to tell you something about the Bible. If you want to know about something in the Bible, you read it for yourself.
When you say if you're looking for, if you have a question, you go to the Bible, like what kind of question? Like a life question?
A life question, a relationship question.
I go to someone who's been through it. If I have a relationship question, let me go to a friend of mine who I know has been in a relationship and actually experiencing in this generation. in this moment, in this within the last 5 years.
But what's changed after generations? What, cheating? What? Name something that is
Gay
acceptable.
marriage has changed, like different things that the world's just a different place than it was. So
But
I
why
just
do you
feel like
why do you look at it as gay marriage? Why can't it just be marriage? So why can't
Just
you
the same
apply the
way-
same?
the same
Because
thing
gay
with-
marriage was never
just the-
acknowledged.
why
So
can't
it's
it still
still
be
considered
marriage?
marriage.
Just the same way you don't look at gay marriage. Why can't it be marriage? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I get what you get from it. I feel like the Bible does teach you how to be like a good person. I do like how it sets the rules, and religious for a lot of the part does keep you to be a good person, and I love that aspect. You
I
should
agree.
be the most decent person you can be. It is by a miracle that you are on this earth. And there is a higher power that made this decision, but I do feel like as long as you're a decent person in life, you're gonna be okay. I don't feel like, oh, you did this wrong in your life. Now you're gonna.
Well, don't look at it like
Live
that.
your life.
I'm
by
not
checklist.
trying to convert you guys.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Oh,
to.
I want
I'm
you
just saying, don't look at it as a list of things because off the bat it say that you're not perfect.
I want to ask Brian something. So you were talking about, like, because you said that, Brian, you don't support same-sex marriage.